Howdy everyone, and welcome back to my Fusion 360 tutorials for CAD design. So before I begin, I want to make an announcement. I've gotten the 3D Connexion SpaceMouse wireless. This basically is a tool that streamlines a lot of the navigation within Fusion 360 and Blender and a whole lot of other CAD design and 3D modeling softwares. I'll put a link to the device in the description so you can check the device out for yourself. But you'll see my navigation from here on out is going to be a lot more smooth, and the videos themselves are going to be a lot nicer. So stay tuned, make sure you like and subscribe. So in this tutorial we're going to be going over our Modify tab. We'll be going over the first two features, which are Fillet and Chamfer. And to begin, we'll create our component as usual. And we'll name this one Fillet. And we'll say OK. Now we'll create a box. And our box will be on the YZ plane. We'll create a 10 by 10. And then make this 10 millimeters tall as well. We'll say OK. Now what we can do is we can select an edge. And we'll fillet that edge. So you can push or pull this down. If you pull, it makes it a little bit more shallow, and if you push, it makes it a lot more, a lot deeper of a fillet. So we'll set this at proportional to 3 millimeters. This creates a fairly deep fillet, but it's a very nice size for the shape that we have here. And we can control the tangency weight, which less of a tangency weight makes this smoother, and more of a tangency weight makes this sharper. I would keep this close to about 1, but if you are making a flatter shape, you can keep this at about 0.5, or if you're making something sharp, you can keep it at about 2.5. We'll keep this at 1 for now. We can say OK. Now we'll go to our opposite side, and we'll make a chamfer. Chamfer basically cuts a slice diagonally. And you can see we can make this up to our fillet, but if we go beyond, you can see it gives us an error. So keep this fairly shallow and keep in mind where your other features are. Fusion 360 does automatically snap edges to other edges, but if you do go beyond that, it gives you an error. So I would keep this at 3 millimeters as well if you're doing this type of shape. Now we can say OK. Now we'll go to our face here. And you can make fillets or chamfers across entire faces. So we'll make a fillet across this entire face. So we'll do that, and you can see it makes a fairly smooth shape along there. You can make this almost to a cone. You can see, as before, we can edit the smoothness or roundness of the shape. We'll set this to 2. You can see that it's almost exactly like a box, but it rounds out the corners. We'll say OK. Now we'll set up another box to show chamfering an entire face. So we'll go to our Create tab. We'll create a new component. Press the X here to select the parent to our workspace. And in this one, chamfer. Now I'll say OK. We'll activate our workspace so our other component shows as well. Actually, we won't create a new component. We need to create a new box. We'll choose our YZ plane again. We'll go to our origin, and we'll make this into a 30 by 30. So there's a 30 by 30. We'll go up 30 millimeters as well. Now we can say OK. We'll select this face here. And we'll select our chamfer tool. Now if we do this, you can see it creates almost like our fillet tool, but it's a straight edge. We can select OK. That's the basics of using fillet and chamfer. As you can see in future tutorials, we'll do a lot more complex operations that'll use these fillets and chamfers to make very aesthetically pleasing shapes. But as of right now, that's the extended features of fillet and chamfer. I'll go into detail into all of the workspace within fillet and chamfer, and you'll see some of the more advanced features of those. But I would recommend that you go and you practice these tools on your own time. The best remedy to learning this type of software is to practice it at home. So I would recommend, in conjunction with watching my tutorials, that you practice this software at home, do some projects of your own. Feel free to contact me by email and show me what you've been doing. I'm always glad to see what my students are doing in Fusion 360 and Blender and Tinkercad. Again, if you have any comments, questions, or just want to show me what you're doing in those softwares, feel free to email me a picture, ask me a question, comment on a video. But that's it for today. Please make sure you like and subscribe and share this channel with your friends and family. I really want to grow this thing fairly soon, so please help me out with that. But other than that, have a great day.